Crenshaw has directly contributed to the loss of customer revenue for local black-owned businesses and sadly has forced the closure of some businesses along this 1.3-mile corridor. For years now, churches have been experiencing decreased attendance due to the elimination of parking, and social service programs for vulnerable fellow citizens have been altogether halted. For years now, residents have watched their quality of life erode and nothing has been done about it. If they think they can get away with treating black folk like second-class citizens, they better think again.
You better think about what you're trying to do to me.
This town hall meeting is a reckoning, a public witness, an opportunity for impacted community members to share their experiences for the public record as we prepare to hold those responsible accountable for this enduring nightmare. So please join us Thursday, July 30th, 6:30 p.m. at Bethesda Temple Church, 4909 Crenshaw Boulevard. This town hall meeting is free and open to the public, but registration is required at kbla1580.com. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Tavis Smiley, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule. 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not too uncertain. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrime go way back. Tavis Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the move. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrime. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrime. The show is called First Things First. What's your first thing? Mine is prayer, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors, elders, and let's go. It's Friday. We got places to be. I'm looking at my screen here on the YouTubes where the people be gathering in the morning, KBLA 1580 at youtube.com. And I see, Miles Slow, that we are at 2,648 episodes of First Things First on YouTube. And I think we were on the air at least a year before we went up on YouTube, right? So we should be close to, I don't know, 3,000 episodes, right?
We giving them catalog.
Dang, we putting in work, Miles.
It's a lot to talk about, though.
Yeah, that's true. We got a lot to talk about, and I'm kind of mad at us, to be honest, because yesterday's show got that song stuck in my head. Where all my scamming, it won't stop looping in my mind. But look, this is how we do things on a Freedman Friday. Hour 1, we look local. Hour 2, we do reparations. Reparations and nothing but reparations. Been doing it for 2 years and plan to continue until further notice, until we get to 3,600 something episodes. And then the third hour, we do a deep dive on a hot topic or a person or persons of interest. Friday's always a grab bag. And Friday, this Friday, today, we got time. So look, if you've been saving up your dialing fingers or your things that you want to say, this is a great day to weigh in at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. Today for Freedman Friday, we're going to do something a little different. It's a Powernomics Freedman Friday. Powernomics reparations with the one and only Dr. Rosie Milligan. So that will be a lively conversation. It always is. And we can catch up on a few things now going on locally. Let me tell you something. Did you all have that? This isn't local, but it kind of is. Did you have the misfortune to watch the president's speech? Did you watch the resident's speech last night? I did. I don't know what came over me. I usually try not to watch a lot of him. I'd rather read it in the paper, read what he said, because then I don't have to hear his sort of droning, whiny voice. But I did watch it, and it was pretty much what I expected. So if you want to talk about that, we can certainly talk about that at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. They arrested someone here in Southern California for a double murder that happened over the weekend, 4th of July weekend. And they arrested a 50-year-old man in this murder. But apparently there's a second suspect that they are still looking for. And police are not releasing a lot of information. This is Sheriff's Department. Sheriff Luna made this announcement yesterday. The man's name is Antoine Jones. And this is the guy that they say is alleged to have shot Mia Bordenave Jenkins, who was just 19 years old, black woman, a nursing student at Nevada. And both her and Eric Washington, who was very well known around here in the community-based organization community, as an advocate, as a intervention prevention worker. Now they're saying that he was murdered trying to de-escalate a conflict at a party. They are still looking for the gun person in that incident. And that's, I'm getting a lot of rumors, but as tempting as it is, I do not generally repeat rumors on the air. There were 2 women and a man who were also shot in that incident. They've been released and they're fine. They didn't have anything life-threatening or life-changing. The cops are now saying that those 2 incidents at the same party were not related, even though they were just one right after another. So that happened, and from what I understand, the conversation, well, I shouldn't say from what I understand, from what I hear, the conversation around that in the streets is, the streets are hot around those. Those are people who are, one, a very young woman, and the other one, somebody who was also pretty young, 37, but very well known and well loved in the community, had worked for a couple different electeds, worked with the Watts Gang Force and more, task force and more. So we know that situation, is igniting the streets, and I hope that it's a lot to put on intervention workers to step up when a former intervention worker is slain, but I know that they're doing everything that they can. It's still a whole problem in Boyle Heights. It's been a month since that fire, which was allegedly sparked by those solar panels. And a warehouse went up in flame. The fire was put out even though it kept reigniting. And now there's tons, literally tons, of food rotting there still. Now with the heat wave that's been hitting us this week, it's really nasty. Flies, rats, and a smell that is so strong. A lot of people say it's giving them headaches and all kinds of things. Well, an analyst team from UCLA went out there to check the air. And they said it's nasty, and yes, there's, whatever particles, but it doesn't reach the level of automatically triggering an emergency declaration. And that's not enough for some of the folks that live there. They are calling on Governor Gavin Newsom to declare an emergency. I know Senator Alex Padilla was down there touring, taking a look at it. But they want Governor Newsom to declare a state of emergency and evacuate the people that are around there until all that garbage, that rotten food, can be taken out of there. Mayor Bass has secured $1 million from Airbnb. They're going to provide some emergency housing for the people that are closest to the warehouse. But believe it or not, that's not going to be enough for a whole neighborhood. She has mobilized city resources, but in these big emergencies, and if you think about the chemical tank that was going to explode we thought was going to explode in Orange County, it was the state that mobilized to evacuate those residents. So some residents are asking, what's the difference between the community in Boyle Heights and the community in Orange County? So that's going on. Now they're saying this. I know it's kind of early to be talking about explosive diarrhea, but now they're saying this parasite that's in salads is linked to the lettuce from Taco Bell, that shredded lettuce in the tacos, the iceberg lettuce, and it's coming from several locations, including California. So although I wouldn't say don't eat any salads, I wouldn't do any Taco Bell. I don't do that anyway. I would. But I also would avoid iceberg lettuce at this point after those reports. There's so many other things to be sick to your stomach about. The last thing you want to do is give it a little parasite, which creates a disease. It's not going to kill you, but it's going to make you feel terrible. And it could last up to a month. So who wants that? And that's, if you get, I guess they said if you get the antibiotics, it could last 2 or 3 weeks instead of a month, but it's still all bad. You don't want to get cut salads, the bags of pre-cut salad. You don't want to do that. You don't want to get pre-cut fruit salads. Right now is the time to wash and make your own salads and fruits if you want to. Wash them thoroughly, soak them like I do in baking soda and vinegar, or at least one or the other, and then scrub them thoroughly with some kind of vegetable brush. And if you're eating greens, you can cook them, bring them to a boil. That'll kill it. But for the most part, like I said yesterday, don't let these people make you afraid of fruits and vegetables while you embrace hot Cheetos, right? Because really, yes, true, there's a small chance you could get a parasite, but also your body needs nutrients. And running to processed foods is not the answer, my friends. As tempting as it may be, it's true French fries don't have a parasite. They're my favorite. But they do cause cancer in the long term. So a little harder to cure. Parasite, couple weeks. Cancer, well, they haven't figured it out yet. So I'm just saying, and I love my French fries, but I'm just saying, let's not psych ourselves into eating a bunch of junk food because, well, there's a parasite, so I can't eat my vegetables. Joker, please. 800-920-1580. Call me if you want to talk about a thing. If you watched the Parasite in the White House giving a speech last night, where am I scamming? You can call me 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrime for KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DiPrime on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day. I'm coming.
She's sharp. She's fearless.
I don't know what they told you, but if they told you that cutting me off is how I'm going to get clicks, stop it now.
She's that girl, and she's bringing all of that to your radio this summer. Amanda Seales is here.
I am Amanda Seales.
Comedian, artist, actress, activist, truth teller. The woman who never bites her tongue is coming to KBLA Talk 1580. And baby, the conversations are about to be unmatched. Every Friday, she's going to be lit noon to 2 p.m. and back again 4 to 6 p.m. Starting Friday, July 17th, only on KBLA Talk 1580. Amanda Seales, keeping it real, keeping it raw, and keeping it rooted. Politics, pop culture, black excellence, the stuff they don't want us talking about. Amanda's talking about all of it.
You keep interrupting me when I'm talking, and you don't want to hear the point that I'm going to make. And yet you want me to respect your point. And that's not how a debate works.
This is not your average radio show. This is a Seals Summer. Fridays, noon to 2, 4 to 6. Starting Friday, July 17th. Only on KBLA Talk 1580. Don't just listen. Tune in.
Small businesses are the heart of America. Like you, these entrepreneurs started out with a dream and the drive to build a better life. If you have a small business idea to grow or challenge to face, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1964, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses. Today, they are the nation's largest nonprofit source of expert mentoring, resources, and education. Whether you're starting out, building back, or have worked at it for years, SCORE will match you with specialized mentors. Our thousands of volunteers provide the guidance and connections you need for free. Your success is waiting. SCORE is ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
This November, you'll decide who leads California. So shouldn't you hear directly from the people asking for your vote? Join us for California Voices, a political town hall and ballot forum, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026. Meet candidates running for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, and other major statewide and local offices, including mayor of Los Angeles, city attorney, and LA County sheriff. Get clear, nonpartisan breakdowns of the propositions on your November ballot, both sides, no spin. And ask your questions directly, in real conversation, face to face. California Voices is brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the Empowerment Congress, giving you the information you need before you vote. Mark your calendar, Saturday, October 3rd, 2026, California Voices. Follow KBLA 1580 for details and download the KBLA 1580 app. Your vote, your voice. Be there.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrime right now.
Right now, 800-920-1580. You're invited in. Oh, today is a day that Amanda Seales premieres on our station. That's exciting. Looking forward to hearing her. That's at noon, right, Miles? Noon, and then again after DL's show on Fridays. That's going to be exciting. I really enjoy her. I enjoy her takes. I enjoy her humor. And she's got an album out. So there's a lot going on over there in Smart and Funny Land. Alrighty. Let's go to Ron calling us from the city of Richmond. Good morning, Ron.
Richmond in the building by way of Berkeley, California. Good morning. How are you?
I'm blessed. How are you doing?
I'm blessed, too. Thankful to be here another day. Real quick, won't be too long. I want to pay homage to my man that passed away this week, Hal Williams. Am I saying that right?
Oh, the actor, yeah.
Yeah.
He was on Sanford and Son, right?
Yep. I just getting ready to mention that. Yeah, played a police officer and 227. A whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, dude was a great actor.
And when you think about it, I mean, back then when he started, I don't know exactly when he started, But there were so few black people on TV that to
Yeah.
even have that continuous working. Hal Williams is his name. He was 91, so that means he probably started a minute ago. And back when people would run to TV and say, "Look, there's a black person on. There's a black person on." So he paid some hardcore dues if he had a long career like that in Hollywood, and he's 91.
91, yeah. Yeah, he sure did. Also, he was on Good Times, too. He had me cracking up on that show. So he did a lot of
And
a lot of
227,
television.
which I never
227, yeah.
saw, but I know that was a really popular show as well.
Yeah. Yeah, just want to pay homage to him. And then you were speaking on that speech. Yeah, I had it on because I was curious just to hear what he said, but I fell asleep on it, though, so sure did. So, yeah, sorry about that, Mr. Orange, man.
Well, that means that that he did something useful yesterday. He acted as a melatonin for you.
Yeah, I guess so. Like I said, I went straight to sleep. So yeah, shout out to but yeah, that's what happened there. So.
So now we know if you want to put Ron to sleep, just lie to him and he'll knock right out.
Yeah, pretty much, huh?
Yeah.
For real. That's crazy. Yeah, don't want to hold you up, but just want to holler real quick to say what's up, and I'm also looking forward to Ananda Seal's show too. I want to hear her, man. I like her. I follow her on the gram. Yeah, she's not to be played with. So I'm very curious to hear what she got to say on her show. And she cool. I just like her as a person. She cool people. So
yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to that. It's a Seal summer around here. Say hi to the Bay for me, Ron. If you see my brother over there in Richmond, wave.
Okay, what's your brother's name?
Rudy.
Rudy. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a lot of brothers, but only one lives in Richmond. That's Rudy.
In Richmond.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up. Shout out to him, man. I'm gonna show him some love for real. I got you. I'm gonna do that.
Thanks, Ron.
All right, much love. You have a great weekend. Big ups to Miles, Tabitha Smiley. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention real quick. I think I mentioned it. I might have mentioned it the other day. Tabitha Smiley. It was a video of him interviewing Master P from BET back in the day.
Oh no, I haven't seen that. It's going around the internet. Okay.
Yeah, Master P posted it on his Instagram, and I just happened to see it. It was that young Tabitha Smiley back in the day before all the gray hair started kicking in.
Happens to the best of us, Ron. Thank you for reporting that.
It's
I
all
will go
love. Thank you.
I'll go on Master P's page and look for that. I was really pleasantly surprised that, well, I mean, it's not like he gave me a shout out, but I was pleasantly surprised that Genuine posted a picture with me. Yeah. And it wasn't because it was me, but it was because it had Aaliyah in it. So, I mean, it had nothing to do with me, but I still enjoy the fact that he posted it. Timbaland also posted it. It was a classic shot, and it made me put it back out there because I had forgotten about that moment. There's a bunch of us. Missy is in the picture, Magoo, Timbaland, Genuine, Julio G, and me, and Aaliyah. That I don't know. It's like they discovered it somewhere and then they posted it. Anyway, yeah, sad to see Hal Williams, but a life well lived, 91 years. He was an actual cop in Ohio, and he decided he was going to become an actor. Quit his job and moved here in 1968. He said he gave himself 3 years, and by the end of 3 years, he was on Sanford and Son and the Waltons. Now, that's an incredible story because most people come here and try to make it and, take 3-4 decades, not years. I remember, was it Vanna White that did 1,000 auditions before she finally landed Wheel of Fortune? Not this one. 3 years. This must have been his destiny. He was on Good Times, Roots, The Next Generation, The Jeffersons, Magnum P.I., The Sinbad Show, Harry O, that 227. That's a hell of a career. Marla Gibbs was on social media yesterday paying tribute to him because he played her husband on TV, and that was on 227. But she said they knew each other for a long time before that because he was doing stage productions with her at her theater, at the Crossroads Theater. And so I love that. I love that for the culture, the way we show up for each other and show each other love, pay tribute to one another when we make our transitions. These things are so important. I do see mainstream giving this man some love, which is dope, but oftentimes that doesn't happen. So I want to make sure that at least here on KBLA we do that because somebody's got to do it. So Southern California Edison put out another press release slash news item. It's on CBS and a couple others, but I call it a press release because it's all coming from them. There's no one fact checking it. They say they've paid $314 million to 2,100 people who have made claims in connection with the Edison Eaton Canyon Altadena fire. And, of course, there were 9,400 buildings burned. They paid 1,200 people with their 2,100 people with their deal. Their take it or leave it fast track deal. So that shows you that the deal, I hope it's working for whoever got it, but it shows you that it is not all that amazing because a lot of people are trying to get their places rebuilt. And if only 2,000 out of 9,000 have decided to take that offer, the offer may be a tiny bit suspect. I'm just saying. Perfect time to call me, 800-920-1580. You know where you're at.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrime when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. More than 100 House Democrats voted Wednesday to cut U.S. aid to Israel, reflecting growing divisions within the party over the war in Gaza.
On this vote, the yeas are 104, the nays 314. The amendment is not adopted.
The proposal failed, but it marked a significant shift in congressional debate over support for Israel. A prominent black family is withdrawing a $1 million scholarship from the University of North Carolina at Wilmington after the school said it could not limit eligibility to African American students. The family plans to move the fund, named for Dr. Leroy Upperman, a black physician, to an HBCU to continue its original mission. And 50 Cent is asking a judge to dismiss a lawsuit filed by a former employee, calling the case a publicity stunt. The ex-executive claims she was fired after refusing to help conceal assets during bankruptcy proceedings. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
LeBron is in New York City tonight to attend the Time Magazine 100 Gala event. Time Magazine named LeBron their Athlete of the Century. ESPN has signed a new multi-year contract with the SWAC Conference, considered by many as the premier athletic conference for HBCU schools. ESPN has agreed to televise football and basketball games involving SWAC teams, regular season and championship games. Beginning this year, ESPN will have live coverage of 10 regular season football games and 4 regular season men's basketball games. ESPN's commitment with the SWAC Conference runs through 2031. At the ESPY Awards Wednesday night in New York, former UCLA center Lauren Betts was named Best College Athlete for Women's Sports. Betts helped lead UCLA to the national championship last season. The ESPYs is the sports version of the Academy Awards. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle-dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory, it's bold, it's flavorful.
Our faves are back. I saw, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Don't be anxious or confused about AI. Take control of your career when you get the skills to tackle real business problems and design specialized solutions. HR Dive reported that entry-level talent with applied AI credentials can receive up to a 25% salary boost. But where do you find training that you can trust? Future-proof your career and deliver more value with Humans Lead the Way AI. Their hybrid learning courses use practical definitions, real-world examples, and strategic insights to help you and your team understand AI with confidence. No magic, no hacks, no shortcuts. Just practical knowledge that helps you use AI more successfully. Don't wait. AI can never replace people who know how to use it well. Register for courses today at humansleadtheway.com. That's humansleadtheway.com.
You've got to try the new TikTok diet.
Just ask chat.
I just take blue-green algae.
You just have to eat kale. Kale, kale, kale.
I read you should put butter in your coffee.
Or you could trust your gut. When it comes to your energy, digestion, and overall health, how do you know what's actually right for you? That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple, at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to show what's going on inside you right now. Not trends, not guesses, your biology. With your results, Viome gives you clear, personalized, actionable guidance. Which foods help you, which ones don't, and which supplements your body actually can benefit from. All based on the world's largest gut health databases and thousands of clinical research studies. Many people who use Viome report better digestion, more energy, and an improved mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing.
And maybe still eat the kale?
Maybe. Learn more at viome.com/know. V as in Victor, IOME.com/KNOW. And use coupon code VIOME50 to save $50 off your purchase.
And eat everything blue.
No, thank you.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrime on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, woo, man. That pipe rupture on Sunset that I reported on yesterday morning is crazy. It's flooding the whole area. And this is not a poor, rundown ghetto area, if you are not from LA. It's because those pipes were put in 1910 or something like that. I mean, 110 years ago, whenever that was. And so what is disturbing about this is that apparently that is the case for a lot of our major water lines all throughout the city. They're old. They have a lifespan of 100 years. That's how long we expect them to last. And if they're already 110 years old, that's a problem. 1916, I guess, is when it was. Okay, my math ain't all that. But look, the other crazy thing is it's scheduled, according to the DWP, it was scheduled to be replaced in 2031. So if it was only good until, 10 years ago, why are we waiting another 5? We know the answer. We don't have the money. 547 miles of pipe that needs to be replaced throughout LA. And not only that, can you imagine the nightmare of traffic if they tried to do all of that at once? I hate to say it, but this may become more common. And LA Times did a nice, fair article on it, but I give them until Monday to come up with a reason to blame the mayor for it. They blame her for everything. We had a mosquito outbreak. The mayor should have been out there with nets. The pipes burst. They're 110 years old. Yeah, but the mayor was in Lamert Park when she should have been standing on Sunset Boulevard. They'll find a way. Mark my words, they'll find a way to blame a black woman, or as Paul Mooney used to say, 1-800-BLAME an N-word. Fahima is on my phone, calling from D.C. Good morning, Fahima.
Ghani and Habera Ghani and K Pasa, Dominique, can you hear me?
Yes, I don't know why you always ask me that. I could always hear you.
Well, it's, I guess it's a reflex ear check. But,
yeah, well, you don't need to do it, because if I don't hear you, I'll go, Fahima, are you there?
Okay.
She's a radio producer, so she has to double check everything 3 times.
Noted. Well, I wanted to lift up the name of Denise Oliver Velez, who lived an extraordinary life. She's joined the realm of an ancestor, and she did a number of things at different phases in her life. So I just want to share very briefly. One, she was the daughter of a Tuskegee Airman. She's an African-American woman, daughter of a Tuskegee Airman. She was a member of the Black Panther Party, a co-founder of the Young Lords, who took over Lincoln Hospital in the Bronx and brought us the Patients' Bill of Rights. She was also the ex-wife of Warrington Hudlin. And when they were together, they co-founded the Black Filmmakers Foundation. This is something I didn't know, because she was very active on Twitter. And last night I was listening to a space that was done a few years ago with her. It was like a fireside chat. And I learned she was married to Warrington Hudlin and did this film back in the 80s. You might remember the independent film called Colors. And so she lived a really extraordinary life. She was also tussling and was a force to be reckoned with, and pitied no fools on Twitter. I remember a number of the battles that she had. And those that are interested in finding out about her, she had a column in the Daily Kos, K-O-S, and she is someone worth and worthy of looking up. And I sent you a piece on her, Dominique, and I just salute her for a life well lived. Denise Oliver Velez.
Yeah, it's amazing that she was 78, but still to have been able to do all of those things, in one lifetime is pretty amazing. I don't think there were too many people that were members of both the Black Panther Party and the Young Lords, which is primarily a Latino organization.
Well, the thing is that the Young Lords were comprised of African Americans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, and Panamanians, because people, they have these ideas in their minds, these fixed ideas, but they were inspired by the Black Panther Party. Also, Denise, 2 other things. She went to Howard, and she was also the co-founder of WPFW and was the first program director there, which was, which is one of the Pacifica stations.
Got it. Yeah. Well, I know that there were a few, but I don't think there were a lot of African Americans in the Young Lords. You probably know that my father, the late Amiri Baraka, was one of the things he got both praise and heat for was uniting the Young Lords and African American activists from several different organizations there in Newark, which, Newark has a very huge, or it did at that time, had a huge Puerto Rican population.
Puerto Rican, yes.
And a giant black population. It was Puerto Rican, Italian, and black, pretty much.
Yeah, and then another thing,
now there's lots of Africans.
Dominique, this past weekend was the anniversary of the Newark Rebellion. And they commemorate that each year. As you know, your dad was very much an integral part of that. And every year, Larry Ham does because there's actually a statue, I believe, that marks the Newark Rebellion. And every year, they commemorate it. And your dad would appear on various media outlets along with Larry Ham.
Yeah,
and of
I'm
course
aware.
Your brother has taken it. Yeah. Well, the listening audience don't know that.
No, they probably don't. And
right.
Yeah, my dad got his head busted open in that incident, which may be one of the reasons why he was always there. But survived. He was in police custody. No one knew where he was. And the artists and poets came together demanding his whereabouts, and he was finally produced. But yeah, they had him. They beat him up pretty bad. The police did in that incident. Thank you for lifting up Denise Oliver Velez. Fahima, I think she definitely won't be celebrated in the mainstream media today. So happy to shed some light on that powerful woman who's now gone to be with the ancestors.
One last thing, Dominique. Although you didn't have the opportunity to interview Denise Oliver, hopefully one day you can interview Larry Ham, who was actually mentored by your dad.
Perhaps so. Thank you so much for your call and for all the work that you're doing. Fahima Sek is she's a producer and an activist and many things. Our KBLA delegation is kind of deep. 800-920-1580. That's the number that she called, and I welcome you to do the same. So yeah, the speech. I think the speech last night was teeing up the theft of the election. Luckily, Jarrett was wrong. He didn't say there will be no election, but he did everything but that. He said he was claiming that they're releasing these new papers. No, not the Epstein files. Papers about the election in 2020, and claiming that our election system is riddled with fraud and abuse, which, as Republican Thomas Massey pointed out, is interesting considering that Republicans control the Supreme Court, the White House, and both chambers of Congress. So are you saying that you don't deserve to be in office? He was back to his sort of regular refrain of saying that mail-in ballots are faulty or somehow corrupt and should only be used for special occasions, like when he wants to vote from Mar-a-Lago. And so what it seems like, it's the setup to more repression, to more election influence from some of these laws and policies and boards that he's putting in place. And I'm sure there's a follow-up to this. He also said that the networks that did not air it, which is NBC and ABC, should have their licenses revoked because they wouldn't air his speech. The networks, they're businesses. If something's going to get sucky ratings, they don't have to air it. I mean, that's not why they didn't say why they didn't air it, but they have a choice what they want to air and not air. And it's interesting that CBS, which is of the big three, the only one owned by Tech Bro, which is Larry Ellison, David Ellison, the same people that own TikTok, that have put in an ultra hard right-wing conservative as the leader of that newsroom, the only one of the big three to air the speech and interrupt their regularly scheduled programming was CBS, which has paid him a bribe and he has them in his pocket. Now he's saying that they're part of the plot for unfair elections. He didn't give receipts. He did not give any facts. He gave more accusations and released a bunch of papers which most analysts say have already been widely available. And one of the reasons that they likely did not air the speech is because usually when networks interrupt regularly scheduled programming for presidential speeches, it's because it's something that affects the whole nation. It's not a campaign-related or overtly political thing. It's we're at war, something terrible happened, like we were attacked on 9/11, or there's a massive disaster of some kind, something really concerning that's happening nationwide that impacts everybody. It's not usually blatantly partisan like this speech was, and that's probably why they didn't air it. That's sort of a tradition of the network. The fact that CBS did so is more reflective of their being in the pocket of the president, with this woman, Bari Weiss, running the newsroom, and the Ellison family owning it. That is a real reason why they did. So what I'm saying is the outlier is CBS, not ABC and NBC. What ABC and NBC did was sort of more the norm. What CBS did was more unusual, which is airing a speech which is highly partisan. I'm laughing because I'm looking, at Brendan Carr, who has already been attacking ABC, so he'll use this as another arrow in his quill, whatever you call those things, where you carry your arrows. But he's already tried to pull ABC licenses because he doesn't like The View and because he doesn't like their diversity policies. So it's not at all surprising that the president would say we should pull their license. It's kind of part of a campaign that's already going with the FCC. But if you're going to pull The View because they're violating supposedly the FCC's equal time rule, which has been barely enforced for the past 20 years, then you're going to need to pull the entire Fox News television network off, because they do not give equal time, ever. Unlike MSNBC, or MS Now as it's called at the moment, and CNN, who are constantly platforming Republican conservative voices. You don't see a bunch of moderates, let alone progressives, on Fox. But they're, funny thing, they're not under investigation at all. 800-920-1580, that's the number to call if you want to say a thing about a thing. Yes, indeed, the election season has started. If it hadn't started before, it started last night with the president firing shots in the area of voter suppression. Dominique DiPrime here, KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Gas prices got you down. LADWP customers get a rebate of up to $4,000 when you buy a used electric or plug-in hybrid vehicle. Installing an EV charger at your home? Get a rebate for that too, up to $1,500. Visit ladwp.com/EV today and start saving. That's ladwp.com/EV. Going to a World Cup match in LA this summer? Ditch the parking stress and ride Metro. With direct service from across LA County, it's the easy way to get there for just $1.75 each way.
Listen up, KBLA delegation. We have something you need to hear. Right now, you may qualify for low-cost home internet. And we're not talking about a catch. This is real. Many internet service providers offer low-cost internet plans if anyone in your household is enrolled in CalFresh, Medi-Cal, SSI, or is income eligible. There are a lot of families in our community who deserve to be connected. Here's all you do. Call 844-461-7893. That's the Get Connected call center. Real people ready to help you enroll today. Or go online to internetforallnow.org to find a provider near you. You may also qualify for a low-cost computer through Human IT. Connectivity is not a luxury. In 2026, it's a necessity. And you deserve access just like everybody else. Call 844-461-7893. That's 844-461-7893. KBLA's got you. If you missed any of this, you can always go to our website at KBLA1580.com. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 in partnership with the California Emerging Technology Fund, CETF.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate meets a scholarly match.
Man, and the grifting is real. So, Truth Social announced yesterday that if you invest in Truth Social, you could have faster access to getting a post by one of their big accounts, the biggest of which is you know who, one of the owners of Truth Social. We already know that he makes announcements on his company, his social media network that he owns, that he has not divested from, as presidents traditionally would, and that they move markets, right? People sell off, they buy, they panic. And he likes to make announcements on Truth Socials when the markets open or right when they close. I mean, clearly he is manipulating markets, manipulating stocks. I mean, now I know that is illegal. I'm not an expert on the stock market, but I know what he's doing is illegal. No one seems to care. But now imagine this. You can pay to play. They probably already are, but now they're announcing it. So, and this guy's, I didn't realize that sometimes he posts more than 100 times a day. How do you run a country and post on social media 100 times a day? But it is true, even the Washington Post says that when he puts something up on Truth Social, it can change the entire oil market. So imagine now you can pay to have the president move world markets. It's so corrupt. It's just not, it's hard for me to even make my head understand that. You can pay the president to manipulate the market in favor of your corporation, your stock profile, or whatever it is, your sell off or your buy up or whatever you're doing, your buyback, whatever it is. That's crazy. Trump Media, Miles, you didn't buy. Did you buy Trump Media? I know you played the stock market.
No, I did not. I stayed away from that. I knew it was happening.
Yeah, well, I guess their prices went way down in the last few months. Investors have lost a lot of money. On down 85% since 2024.
Yes, that's called a rug pull.
Oh, really? When they pull the rug out from under your money?
It's like the crypto, like get everybody invested in, and we're out.
And we're out.
Oh,
I see. Leaving the small investor holding the bag.
Holding the bag, yes, ma'am.
Well, they said that this little announcement is helping a little bit. We'll see if it's a significant boost, but maybe that's one of the reasons why. I guess, and what they're saying is that other social networks can offer something similar where you can get information or boost your posts or with, major players, but none of them have the president of the United States. None of them have the president of the United States as the owner and poster in chief. It sounds illegal to me. You know more about the stock market than I do, but if you can just manipulate markets, then you have the ability to rip off investors.
Right. It's clear what like you said, Dominique, it's clear what they're doing, but like you said, who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna stop it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
You got the whole building surrounded. You got your Fed chair in there. You got your it's a wrap.
That's wild. Meanwhile, tech bros like Peter Thiel are getting second homes. They're leaving town and leaving you holding the bag, which is deep. A lot of these guys are getting dual citizenship and taking their billions elsewhere. It's funny. Jamie Dimon, who is the CEO of J.P. Morgan, says that he understands why people are angry at the rich. But he really doesn't. You can tell from what he says that he doesn't. He says that he understands the frustration of working class Americans. This is in an interview that he did not too long ago, and why a lot of us have grown anti-rich. He's a billionaire, of course. He says the anti-rich thing has been around a long time. Yeah, ask Marie Antoinette. But he says he does admit that we've left lower income people behind, but he says this is what makes me think he doesn't get it at all. He says, if you're rich, you don't have to worry about your school. You don't live in crime-ridden neighborhoods. So if you're making less income in poor rural or inner city areas and your schools aren't good, you have to deal with crime and more divorce. And then it becomes degenerational. He said, yeah, let's acknowledge it and let's fix it. He said, these wealthy people are getting, this is him saying what the average citizen says. These wealthy people are getting unbelievably wealthy, and this segment has been left behind. That's kind of annoying. Kind of annoying is what he says. You can't feed your children. That's kind of annoying. You're unhoused because housing is being gobbled up by these big corporations who look at it as an investment rather than a necessity. That's kind of annoying. You can't pay your bills. That's kind of annoying. Gas prices make it so that you can't go on vacation because it's too expensive to fill up your tank. That's kind of annoying. To me, that's a rich person saying, I get it. I get the anti-rich thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of annoying.
Care.
Huh? I care.
Saying he don't care.
He don't care. I mean, he's saying let's fix it. But also, it's kind of annoying. Americans have been doing much better, he says, compared to the 30s and 40s and 50s. Yeah, but fast forward, almost 100 years. The rich have gotten so richer. The gap between rich and poor is so wide. That's kind of annoying. I get it. Being poor is bad. That's kind of annoying. Yeah, maybe you should keep your commentary to yourself if you don't want the anti-rich thing to escalate, because existential crises for everyday Americans trying to feed their babies are a wee bit more than kind of annoying. News, traffic, and sports, then. It is time for Freedman Friday. We're talking reparations next.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. More than 100 House Democrats voted Wednesday to cut U.S. aid to Israel, reflecting growing divisions within the party over the war in Gaza.
On this vote, the yeas are 104, the nays 314. The amendment is not adopted.
The proposal failed, but it marked a significant shift in congressional debate over support for Israel. A prominent black family is withdrawing a $1 million scholarship from the University of North Carolina at Wilmington after the school said it could not limit eligibility to African American students. The family plans to move the fund, named for Dr. Leroy Upperman, a black physician, to an HBCU to continue its original mission. And 50 Cent is asking a judge to dismiss a lawsuit filed by a former employee, calling the case a publicity stunt. The ex-executive claims she was fired after refusing to help conceal assets during bankruptcy proceedings. Get BIN News Now on